As an empath, you've been told that you need to learn how to set boundaries. And although that's true, and I believe that we need to, because I'm also kind of classify myself as an empath. But I'm coming to you from a slightly different experience today, which is that for me, and I'm sure for you too, it has been a lot more about knowing what's mine and what is not mine. And that's not so easy to do sometimes because what we tend to do is we tend to absorb other people's energy. And we do that quite naturally, and we sense into other people's feelings. And so when we have to say no to someone, which is setting a boundary, a lot of times that feels uncomfortable because we can actually already sense into how the other person is going to feel when we say no. For example, my dog here. No, right? I can sense into that he doesn't get upset. He gets upset when I don't want to play with him in the stick right now. Yeah? So I have to say no. Anyway, so what I want to say about that instead is that instead of setting complete boundaries, which we need to do is to figure out how is it me or how is it you. And one exercise that was really helpful for me was a meditation where you stare into a candle. So you put a candle in front of you, you light the candle, you sit there and you kind of look into that candle, which is actually a very good way for you to focus both your emotions and your thoughts on that candle for that amount of time. You can do it for, 1 to 5 minutes, let's say, or more if you want to, 10 minutes. But what you also can start to feel into is the separation between you and the candle. What does the separation feel like? That the fact that you are separated. And I know that sounds silly, but a lot of times, let's say you go to a mall, right? I go to a mall sometimes, and if I don't prep myself beforehand and say, okay, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna have this kind of, light around me, I'm going to spread energy instead of absorbing it, and so on and so forth. What I can do sometimes is to come home and feel completely as if I have no energy left whatsoever for the rest of the day. It's just, I got bombarded by everybody else's energy. I absorbed it. I wasn't conscious enough to kind of block it out. So therefore, I'm a mess. And I'm sure you've experienced that too many, many times in your life. Or I say yes to too many, which is boundary setting, right? I say yes to too many social engagement. And then by the end of the week, and I'm like, okay, I have no more energy left. And I just need to be with myself at this moment in time. So to set that experience of you-ness, is this my emotion? And also, is it my thought? Because a lot of times the experience for me is that I'm actually absorbing other people's thoughts as well, energy fields, everything, you name it. And it gets absorbed into my system, and I think that it's mine, and I'm just like, oh my God, where did this come from, right? And if I'm not aware enough, if I'm not conscious enough, I'll absorb it and believe that it's mine. So being you versus someone else or some else, the whole collective, is super important. Sensing into that, knowing that, experiencing that, and doing that almost every day, all day long. Because if you don't, you'll get pushed into, and pulled into the other energy fields. And this becomes a practice because a lot of times we slip and we forget, and we all of a sudden we're there again, and it's like, okay, wow, I feel all this, I'm exhausted. But continually practicing every single day, is this mine? Wait a minute, this emotion, I don't know, I don't think so. Okay, put it to the side. If it is mine, then, deal with it appropriately and sit down and not respond to it and so on. But if it's not yours, then it's not yours. And that's what I think we need to learn as empath. That's like our absolute biggest lesson, because we tend to be so absorbing, but also so caring, that we want to help other people, even if it's not our emotion, if it's our, other significant other, or if it's our children or our friend or our parent. We want to help them, and we try to do that in every way we could. And a lot of times we probably did that as children too. Right? As children, we were in relation to our parents, to our siblings, and we adjusted ourselves in order to fit into their specific emotional state. And I think we did that so easily and so effortlessly that it became a conscious, unconscious sort of state of mind for us, where we never really reflected on the fact that this isn't mine and I'm trying to help someone else right now. So it becomes a pattern that we keep on repeating throughout our lives. We do it with our partners and with our children and so on and so forth, right? So that's my practice for you. Try to figure out what's yours and what's someone else's. And I'm by no means there myself. We're in this together and I'm doing it with you. I love you so much. Namaste.